This is going to be your Star Spangled Banner notes, so please get out a plain piece of paper and right at the top of your page, the Star Spangled Banner. First thing we want to know is, what is a banner? When you see a parade and people are carrying a banner, it might say Chancellor High School Marching Band on it. So a banner is a piece of cloth. If there are stars spangled all over it, then what is a Star Spangled Banner? It's our flag. The Star Spangled Banner is our national anthem. When I was a kid, I didn't know what really the national anthem really meant, those words. National means our country. Anthem is a song. So this is our country's song. So when you hear an announcer say, "Everyone, please rise for the singing of the national anthem," that's, everybody please stand up and sing our country's song. Next, the national anthem was written by a man named Francis Scott Key. Now, he only wrote the words. The song, the tune came from an old song back in Britain, and they actually used it in bars to drink with. So it was a happy little drinking song. And here we have, this national anthem of the United States, and they go, "Hey, this poem that Francis Scott Key wrote fits perfectly into this tune." So if you think of other tunes, a lot of words fit into different tunes. Like when you have la 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 la, that's A B C D E F G. It's also twinkle twinkle little star. It's also blah blah black sheep having wool. So you've got all these different poems that fit into the same song. Well, this poem happened to fit into this particular song, and so all he did was write words. He made a poem. He did not write a song. I don't even know if he was musical. He just wrote a poem. Why did he write the poem? He was captured, well, not really captured. Let's do this. He was a lawyer. Let's put that down. He was a lawyer. And there was a man that was captured on a British ship. And he went out there to see if he could negotiate and say, "Hey, can you let this old man go back to land again, and I'll stay on the boat. That way, this man can go help out." I think he was a doctor. "Let him help out all the soldiers that are wounded and stuff, and we'll let me stay on the boat instead, because we really need this doctor back on land." So he ended up being the one that was the captured person on the British ship. And so he's looking out of this boat. And as he's looking out of the boat, he sees our fort that's in front of him. This is Fort Mchenry. Where's Fort Mchenry? It's located in Baltimore, Maryland. So it's not too far away. We could get there in an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. So if you want to go there sometime, I really recommend it. I'm not big into history places, but when you go there, it's a really cool fort that I think you guys would enjoy. Fort Mchenry, located in Baltimore, Maryland. He's looking at it, and he's making sure that our flag is still up in the air. Because if our flag comes down and the British flag goes up, what does that mean? all the British captured all our guys, and now they're in control of our fort. So we've got him on this British ship, and he's looking out to make sure that our flag's still up. So he's writing all these words out in his book. And what's the words that he's writing? He's writing, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light." What does dawn mean? Dawn means morning time. So write down dawn, and a dash, and morning. So he was looking out at the fort in the morning time to make sure our flag was still there. Now he says, "What so proudly we hailed." What does hailed mean? Okay, yeah, you can think about hail coming down from the sky. That's not the hailed I'm talking about. Hail, like if you hail to a king or a queen, you might bow down. If you're hailing at a baseball game, you might be putting your baseball cap over your your heart. You might have soldiers saluting. But when we're going to hail, we're going to put our hand over our heart to the flag. So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Twilight is going to be nighttime. If you think of your favorite little movie, Twilight, those vampires are coming out at nighttime. So this is twilight. Let's write down hailed. And write hand on heart. And twilight. And write evening. Now this is a great picture of Fort Mchenry. This fort was in the shape of a star. It was precise. I've gone there. It's a lot better than this drawing, but this drawing really shows that we've got a point here, a point here, a point here, and then a point here, and a point here. So that equals 5 points sticking out. And in the center we had the buildings, and out here were the cannons. And so they did this on purpose so that the cannons were on the outside points, and they were able to shoot their cannons off and hit the boats, but yet the buildings were in the center so that they were protected by the guys that were out here shooting their cannons. So then you could sleep inside and not have to worry about so much of a cannonball getting you from the boats coming back. They also had a green hill, grassy hill that went around it, so it looked like it was just a grassy hill from far away. It didn't look like a soldier fort. So I think they were really good at disguising the whole thing and making it into a really cool fort. So let's draw that fort out. We're going to draw a star, and we're going to have the water, we're going to have a boat, and we're going to have the cannons that are shooting the ships, and we have the buildings inside, and that's where they're going to be safe. Okay, so let's write down points dash cannons, center dash safety, and walls were covered in grass for camouflage. Oh, and it was in a shape of a star, right? Shape of star. So now, Francis Scott Key is looking at the flag, and this flag was huge. This flag was like 30 feet by 50 feet big. So when you look at how big that is, it's bigger than this room. The stripes are going to be huge. So when they say, whose broad stripes and bright stars, the stripes are big and wide. They're like 2.5, 3 feet wide, each stripe. So it's huge. Okay, so broad means wide or big. Big and wide. Okay, if you've ever heard somebody say you have broad shoulders, you have big, wide shoulders, you're like a football player. Okay, these are broad stripes. So whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Perilous is going to mean dangerous. Everybody say perilous means dangerous. All right, so perilous, write that down. Perilous means dangerous. Now we'll know what we're singing about when we have these huge words in our song. Okay? So whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched. What were they looking over? What are ramparts? It'd be the fort walls. Okay, so he was looking over the fort walls to see if that flag was gallantly streaming. What's gallantly streaming mean? Blowing or waving in the wind. So we've got two words to write down here. We've got ramparts. Ramparts are going to be the fort walls. And then we've got gallantly streaming. And gallantly streaming means blowing or waving in the wind.